What's going on, wrestling fans? It is your boy D-WIZZLE back again to give you guys another show review. I know this is not what I normally do. I normally just talk about the main pay-per-views. I don't really talk about Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. But I thought this once again was a significant occasion. And this is something I actually wanted to talk about for a while. Today we're going to be talking about the premiere of NXT UK, the British brand from NXT. Oh, I'm so excited. It's finally here. The first episode premiered this past Wednesday on October 17th. And let's just get right into it. So for those of you who follow me, you guys know I'm a big NXT mark. I think NXT is the best brand that WWE has right now. And I just love how, they put so much craft into the storylines and help to develop the characters, and most importantly, they emphasized the wrestling more than anything else, which I feel what Raw and SmackDown has been lacking. I mean, not only because they lack in storylines and character development, but they put more emphasis on the fact that this is wrestling. And that's something I really appreciated. And one of the big things that I really like about NXT is how much attention they're giving to the British wrestling rosters. Triple H and his team has just been putting a lot of emphasis on expanding the brand when it comes to the UK. Because we do know the UK is like a big, it's a big demographic for wrestling in general, not just WWE. So to see, the talent that they get from the UK, from all over the UK, it's just something really, really exciting. I just love, their style of wrestling. It's always exciting to watch. I do watch some British wrestlers here and there, like stuff from What Culture Wrestling and stuff like that. And of course, there's some British wrestlers that are in WWE and Impact Wrestling and others like that that I enjoy. We all know British Bulldog and everything. And then we also know of SummerSlam, where the UK hosted SummerSlam, which was very exciting. So it's great to see that that WWE is letting the British wrestlers have their own brand, have something that could be on the same level as NXT and even the main roster. So I was so excited. I watched all the UK championship tournaments that WWE broadcasted on the WWE network. I've enjoyed all of them, and that's when they had that's when they debuted the United Kingdom Championship, and that's where we were introduced to really good British wrestlers like Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Wolfgang, just to name a few. But pretty much, I've been impressed with all the British wrestlers that were in the tournaments, and I was hoping to possibly see them one day when they, either they have a spot in NXT, or possibly they could bring some people up to the main roster, along with the women as well, like Toni Storm and women like that. Like they really showed how great they are in the ring and how interesting of personalities we have. So the last UK Championship tournament, I think that was in July, I believe. That's when Triple H announced that NXT was going to create another brand for the UK called NXT UK, and I was so excited. It's what I've wanted for a long time. So not only it's not the fact that they were going to have these British superstars in NXT, but they're going to have their own brand, which I think was even better. It's good that they're going to give them a platform like they do with the Cruiserweights on 205 Live. So I was so excited when they announced it. I've just been waiting this whole time for NXT UK to debut. So when they talked about the dates and stuff like that, they said the first one was going to be in August, and I couldn't wait in August, but I kind of got that confused because that's when they were pre-taping. You know, if you were going to see it live, that's when they were going to record it. But the actual episode wouldn't broadcast on the network till a couple months later. So I got that confused. So I had to wait a little bit longer, like everyone else. So I'm like, that's fine. Just take as much time as you need to make this right. So we finally waited in October, and you know, I actually had time to watch it live. I think it came on like 3:00 p.m. So this was before I had to go to work and everything. So I was able to catch it. And I'm just gonna get right into it. NXT UK, the first episode, I think was a huge success. I really enjoyed this first episode of NXT UK, and I can't wait to see where they go from here. It's just great atmosphere that you have with all the fans from the UK. The crowd on the show was just electrifying. They were with the show from start to finish. There was such an energy in that arena. This was taking place in Cambridge, yeah. And I'm glad that they still kept that intimate feel that they have with the original NXT, where it's not like a huge arena like Raw and SmackDown. However, this arena felt a little bit bigger than the NXT arena in Full Sail University, but you still had the intimate feel, that indies feel, which I really appreciated. Just all the production and the lights and all that, all was very well done. Definitely had that British feel to it, which is what I expected, for a show called NXT UK. So from a production standpoint, I enjoyed it a lot. The commentators, I think Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness, I think they're really, really good commentators, and I can't wait to see what they do going forward. I never heard of Vic Joseph before, so it's the first time I've seen him commentate, and I thought he did a pretty good job. And Nigel McGuinness, we all know he helped do commentary for 205 Live and the original NXT, and I thought he was really good. So I can't wait to see how they do in the NXT UK brand. So to getting to the matches themselves, you start off the show with Mark Andrews versus Joe Coffey with his brother Mark Coffey at ringside. I thought this was a really good opener. Mark Andrews, I feel like he doesn't get as much appreciation. I think he's a really good high flyer. I think he's a cruiserweight. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think he is a cruiserweight. But he's such a really good high-flying wrestler. Yeah, his character could be, worked on a little bit more. But I think he just has that likable personality, and it's just not a lot of people talk about him. And I'm glad he was able to be on the debut of NXT UK. Joe Coffey. For those of you who have seen the UK tournament a few months ago, that's where he made his debut, and I'm actually really impressed with Joe Coffey. I think he's a really, really good heel and a really good super heavyweight. He's actually pretty quick in the ring for his size, so I was really impressed. He has a nice look, and I think he'll make a pretty good heel stable with his brother Mark. So I was really impressed. As far as the match itself, Mark actually held his own for quite a while, even though he was a little man in the match. He actually got some good offense on Joe Coffey with all his high-flying moves and stuff off the top rope, so I thought that was really good. But we knew eventually Joe Coffey was going to get the upper hand because of his size and his agility. So he eventually hits him with his... I don't know what the move is called, but it's a vicious clothesline. So that's what he used to get the win. So Joe Coffey wins the match, and then Mark and Joe Coffey get in the ring and start attacking him after the match was over with. But then another superstar from the UK tournament, Flash Morgan Webster, comes in and helps Mark Andrews and saves him from the attack. I really like Flash Morgan Webster. I think he will go really far in the UK division. I was really impressed with him in the UK tournament. So it's nice that they're already setting up storylines between the four of these gentlemen. So I can't wait to see what they do from that going forward. Next you have Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate. Mustache Mountain coming in and doing a promo, and everyone was loving Mustache Mountain, and pretty much they were just talking about how much they appreciate, having their own brand in the UK, and talking about their accolades in the regular NXT where they won the tag team titles, and that's when they started talking about NXT UK is going to have their own tag team division, and they're saying that there really isn't any tag teams at the moment for the UK division yet. So they're pretty much laying the challenge out there for any tag teams that we'll eventually see in the UK. Step your game up and show what you can do. Because Mustache Mountain is obviously going to be going after the tag team titles when they eventually have the tournaments, or if it's qualifying matches or whatever. So I thought that was really good. I really enjoy Mustache Mountain. I think they're an excellent tag team. They had some really good matches in NXT with the Undisputed Era, and they also won the NXT tag team titles at the UK Championship tournament. So I can't wait to see what they do here. I don't know if they're going to win the NXT tag team titles. They'll probably have them do it, but I think another tag team will come up and win the titles. But it'll be very cool to see them try to fight for the titles going forward. It's going to be really exciting. And I did see the pictures of what the NXT titles look like. You guys can go on Google and literally search up NXT Tag Team Championships. Those championships look awesome. I honestly think, as far as the titles that the UK division has, I think they have the best looking titles out of all the brands. Their titles are just so gorgeous and so regal and prestige, and I just even though I do really like the NXT, the regular NXT titles, and the WWE Championship, I just wish that the main roster would try to have a little bit more craft with their title design as much as the UK and NXT does, because these titles I think are gorgeous. So that was it with that. So the next match we have is Dave Mastiff versus Sid Scala. So Sid Scala is pretty much a jobber in this one for the big imposing Dave Mastiff, Bomber. I think that's his nickname. So I saw Dave Mastiff in a match so he can qualify for the UK championship tournament. I think it was on YouTube or something like that. It was free, but from what I'm seeing from him, I think he is going to be the ultimate powerhouse of UK. How Raw has Braun Strowman, SmackDown I guess has the Big Show, and NXT has Lars Sullivan. I think Dave Mastiff is going to be the monster of NXT UK, because he is imposing, he is huge, he is strong and powerful, but at the same time, he moves so quick and agile, almost like a cruiserweight. He literally did drop kicks and stuff in this match, and I'm just like, this stuff was just amazing. And Sid Scala kept, throwing chops at Mastiff and stuff like that, but nothing was phasing Mastiff. Literally, it was just a beatdown from start to finish. I think this is just to show how powerful Mastiff is, and just to establish how dominant he's going to be in the division. And I can't wait to see what Dave Mastiff does going forward. I think he's going to, he's going to leave his mark here for sure. The next match we have is Toni Storm versus Nina Samuels. So I kept hearing about Toni Storm in the indies, about how great she is as the women's wrestler. I've never watched her before. The first time I got exposed to her was obviously the UK Championship tournament, where she was trying to qualify to become, when she was trying to get qualified for the NXT Women's Championship. Oh, and yeah, and then she had a match with Shayna Baszler at the time. So, from what I'm seeing from her, I understand the hype. Toni Storm is really good. She has such an electric personality. She got this punk rock type, heel, and she's just really good in the ring. I'm really impressed by Toni Storm. Nina Samuels, I thought she was pretty good. She has a really good look. And as far as the match goes, I thought the match was really good. And this once again reminds you, this is what the women's revolution should be. Two women going out there and showing that they can compete on the same level as men. And this was another really good example of this. So I'm not sure. I think this is a qualifying match for to become number one contender for the women's championship or something like that. So Toni Storm did win here, so I'm happy about that. So I'm guessing she's gonna have a championship match at Evolution for the UK Women's Championship. So I'm really excited. I could see her being the face of the UK Women's Division for sure, and hell, she could even be in the same contender as the regular NXT Women's Division, and definitely show the main roster women where it's at. But definitely really good women's match. Really good way to start off for this women's UK division. And then last but not least, we have the main event. We have the returning Scottish Supernova Noam Dar versus the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. And this match was excellent. I thought this was an awesome main event. Noam Dar, I've seen him on 205 Live, and I think he's really impressive as a wrestler, and I think he has a pretty good personality. Though I think, like a lot of people, I felt like 205 Live was holding him back, that he wasn't able to go to places in his career that he wanted to if he just stayed in the cruiserweight division. I think he deserved to be on a different platform, and he was taken out by an injury, so he had quite a few months on the sidelines, but I'm glad that Triple H brought him back in NXT and UK, put him in the UK division where he can shine a lot more. So yeah, I'm so glad he's able to have this, and so glad that he was able to qualify to have this UK Championship match at the tournament. As far as Pete Dunne is just great. He's doing some amazing stuff as the UK champion. At first, I was not that hot about Pete Dunne. At the very first UK Championship tournament, I think that was in 2016 or something like that. I was not that big of a fan of his, but the more I've seen him wrestle and seeing his character and personality, he's really started to win me over. And then when he eventually beat Tyler Bate for the UK Championship, at first I was salty about it, but I'm going to be honest. I think Pete Dunne, so far, is the best UK champion we had. And I know we can only go by him and Tyler Bate, but it's going to be hard for me to see who can outdo Pete Dunne as far as the championship reign. He's just awesome in the ring. He has this, cutthroat attitude. It's a really nice. He's not a heel or a baby face per se. I mean, I guess you could say he's kind of a baby face, but I think he's more of a tweener, and I think he works really well as a tweener. Keep him that way. So as far as the match goes, the general manager, the legendary Johnny Saint, came to the ring and shook both Noam Dar and Pete Dunne's hand before the match started, and you can see there's this underlining disrespect between Noam and Pete, when they were trying to go in to shake hands before the match, and then Noam keeps putting his pinky up and whatever. So it's like, I like that nasty stuff, because Noam Dar is not exactly a sweetheart either. So it's cool to see these two personalities clash heads. But this match, as I said, was excellent. You had Noam Dar doing his high flying stuff, and then Pete Dunne doing his ground and pound and his his joint contorting, whatever. It's just all of that stuff was just pure gold. There was a spot in the match where it was hard for me to watch, but in a good way, because when Pete Dunne does his contorting of the joints. He took Noam Dar's pinky, you know, because Noam Dar keep putting his pinkies up whenever he's doing his taunting. Pete Dunne literally grabbed his pinky and contorted it backwards and placed it in the mat, and then he stomped on the pinky while it was bent back. I'm like, oh, that was so freaking nasty. I'm like, I hope he didn't actually break his finger, but he seemed okay after, but we'll see it from that. But that was a nasty spot. But this is the intensity that I want from wrestling that I feel like the other brands are lacking, you know? This is the type of stuff that I want to see from, you know, professional wrestling. It doesn't always have to be, you know, family friendly, because, you know, this is about a sport where people beat each other up, just like UFC or whatever. So it's great to see that it didn't lose his roots about being ground and pound and intense. But Pete Dunne ends up retaining the title. So I didn't think that they were going to put the title on Noam Dar yet, you know, because he's just starting. I think Pete Dunne's going to stick with the title a little bit longer. I don't know if he's going to hold the title going into next year. Probably he'll have the title probably till after, definitely after War Games, and after that it's fair game. But yeah, I'm just excited to see where Pete Dunne goes from here. I think he's going to be involved in the War Games match at NXT TakeOver with British Strong Style, Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven. I think they're going to be teams with going against Undisputed Era, and then eventually Ricochet and the War Raiders as a team. I think that'll be really exciting. I'm wondering how the UK is going to how it's going to factor when it comes to the TakeOver pay-per-views. They probably just have the UK division just be in it, you know, because they are NXT, so they, you know, don't have to have their own pay-per-views, whatever. But yeah, this is what I want from a week-to-week basis when it comes to the wrestling shows. It makes me want to see more. You know, I'm really excited for this UK division, and we have a bunch of talent here that we haven't even seen yet, or we've only saw, you know, a little snippet of them. So overall, I think this was a really good first episode for NXT UK. I am so excited to see where they go from here, and I think they will be on the same level, if not better, than the original NXT. So definitely, even though I loved everything about what NXT is doing for the most part, the one thing that has bothered me for a while is the fact that, you know, it's only an hour, and, you know, it just, I mean, they do really good with the hour that they're given, but it's just, for me, I just want it to be a little bit longer. So if you feel like, you know, that hour of NXT on the WWE Network, you know, it's not satisfying to you and you want to see more, I think NXT will be a good alternative, or another extension of NXT, if you just want another hour of this, you know, excitement that we're getting from this up and coming brands for the WWE. I think this is going to be really successful. So overall, I'm going to give NXT UK a 4.3 out of 5 stars. Really, really good show. Good on you guys. British Strong Style is here to stay. At least I hope it is. I think it will. But that's how I feel about NXT UK. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this rant, don't forget to like the video, comment your thoughts, and please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell and get notified on future videos I'll be doing. And thank you as always for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.